No, it is not Club Deck Corner. You see me, you don't have the graphics for Club Live tonight. Mr. Carney is in Monaco. Yes, welcome to Club Live here at Club 22, the Rangers podcast. I know the opening did say welcome to Club Deck Corner. In case you went back in time, you have not come back in time. We're currently on Friday, the 31st of January. As usual, get your comments in, likes and shares as well, much appreciated. But as I said, Mr. Carney is living it up in the land of Monaco and the casinos and the glamour that comes across there. So it has fallen to me and Ross McLean to bring you Club Live tonight. So if you can get your comments and any sort of questions, we'll do our best to answer it. So yes, my only guest tonight, Ross McLean. Good start for us there, Ross, in Club Deck Corner, wasn't it?
Club Deck Corner on a Friday, yeah. Carney, get back as soon as you can, mate, please. We need you. We need you. Nah, looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it after a very, very good night last night. I watched it from the house, but the buzz is still going about. I think I can imagine everyone's the same. You go into work today and you're just, a a good stride in your step. But yeah, looking forward to it, mate. Looking forward to it. And good evening to everyone in the chat. It's good to be here.
Yeah, and I'll get the birthdays out of the way as well. Happy birthday, Alan McGregor. It is Alan McGregor's birthday today. I did see in Rangers Twitter today they were wishing Alan McGregor a happy birthday. So yes, what I'd give for Alan McGregor, by the way, right now. But we'll go on to Jack Butland later on in the show. But yeah, Ross, let's just dive right into it. I did a post match in my car at Christ 11 o'clock at night last night. That's when I got in on the game. Didn't break it down point by point, to be honest, but my reaction on it. But the starting lineup, what was your views on the starting lineup? Obviously, Tav at right centre half, kind of what we thought on Club Deck Corner. Young Leon King coming at right back. But the big ones for me was Cerny came back on the right hand side and John Souttar was on the bench.
They were, mate. They were. It's very, very good to see Cerny back. I do like Cerny. Obviously, he's on loan, so it's almost you don't want to get too excited by him because is he going to stay? I don't know, but I mean, obviously we'll come on to the game. He proved his point last night, so it was really good to see him in. Young Leon King, it's a big chance for the lad. I think this was probably for Leon King. He didn't manage to get a bit of a say in the Fraserburgh game. You'd imagine he would have played there tonight, last night even, sorry, was his big chance. And what came on to happen for him is, I'm gutted for the lad, I'm gutted for him. But the team overall, yeah, it's probably picks itself. And yeah, it was Tav at centre back won't ever. Well, he's playing well, but it won't ever look natural to me. It's very, very weird seeing him playing there.
It's very weird seeing him play there, Ross, but he's performed very well at right centre half. I've
Definitely.
been texting Mr. Haymarch today, and Tav, I wouldn't say, is in Mr. Haymarch's top 10 all time players that have played for Rangers. Um, but I think he even agrees he played well last night, Tav. But yeah, kind of getting into the game, I thought, right, that they're a decent team. USG, they knock the ball about well. They've got some big physical guys. As I did say last night, their centre half, their left side centre half, I don't know what height he was, 6'5", 6'6". Big dominating centre half, can play with the ball as well. Type of guy I'd love to see at Ibrox next season. They were tidying the ball, but I thought Rangers played well. But you touched on Leon King, obviously. He had a kind of bad challenge 5-10 minutes into the game, and then obviously had a concussion and had to come off. It's a shame for the boy because I actually thought he started quite well at right back. Um, he just doesn't have the luck with Rangers. I don't think he was fancied. I think he was brought in because we had to bring him in. But I just think for the sake of Leon King and his career, Ross, personally, I think he should be asking his agent to look for another club because I don't think he's going to find first team football at Ibrox. And I felt sorry for him last night coming off the park.
Yeah, I know. I mean, at the end of the day, he's got a knock after winning a header. He's went up. All we can ask for is him getting stuck in. And as you say, I thought he was really decent when he was playing. He was showing really good signs. So it is gutting for him. I do kind of what Robbie McCrory's done. See, going out and getting first team football. It might not be at Rangers. Just go and get your move, mate. It needs to happen for the sake of his career. So yeah, it's Well, the substitution that followed it though, Ross McCausland coming on at fullback, as we were saying before we went live, mate. What else can we really do just now? We have very very limited options. Obviously, you have Sterling there who's injured, who would be your straight replacement. You can even go back and say Casemiro, he's injured. Adam Devine, he's not at the club, is he just now? Is he kicking about the
No,
club? I don't even
I
know.
don't.
No.
I'm not actually sure, to be honest.
Yeah, it's so you're kind of you're very much scrambling for ideas, and Clamont brought McCausland on before, kind of saying he could help out defensively. I didn't know if he was gonna do you go three at the back, bring on Barron. I don't literally no idea.
He
It's
wasn't
when
on
you
the
need
bench.
a
He wasn't on the
was he
bench,
not?
but no,
It's when
injured.
you need a number four John Lundstrom to come and sit in as the third centre half. That's all we were crying out for. But yeah, it is. And back to the original question, it was gutting for the young king, but I do agree. If he can get a move for the sake of his career to get him first team football, then that'd be a good move for him.
Yeah, no, it was a shame for him. And when it happened, we were all obviously in the ground going, right, who are we bringing on? And we're obviously looking at what's on the bench, and there's a lot of young boys on the bench. I thought Ross McCausland was probably the obvious one to bring on because he plays on the right side. We have seen him there once before. He get booked though, McCausland, when he came on. He get booked quite early in the first half, and I actually worried for him at that point because the guy on the left hand side for USG was going by him with a bit of joy at times. I did fear with him on the booking. And he did well, McCausland, to be fair to him. I know later in the game, which we'll discuss, he get pushed further forward and Tav went back to right back. But the first goal, Ross actually came from a corner kick, which was well worked. Came to Tav, took the corner, came to Cerny, I think it was. He played it back to Tav. A delicious ball by Tav to the back post. And there was one of the smallest guys in the park, Nico Raskin, who just guided the ball into the back of the net for Rangers. It was a fantastic start, but it was a fantastic goal by Rangers. And what a ball by James Tavernier.
What a ball! You could say captain to captain. It was something that I've been wanting Raskin to get a goal for ages because he's deserved it. See, obviously he gets the applause from the Ibrox crowd, but see having that moment for him, just that, yeah, that's Raskin. So I was buzzing from. It shows the quality Tav can provide. Very little players in our team can provide a cross like that. So yeah, I mean, as you say, the smallest guy in the park heading the ball. What a header it was! It was a
Yeah,
striker's
it's
instinct from
header.
him. So you're 1-0 up, and as you say, good team. Couldn't get much a better start than that, mate. Not for me.
Yeah, it was a perfect start for Rangers. And then not long after, USG, a ball into our box, which is our Achilles heel, score a goal. Rangers claim for offside, and I think they claim for a foul potentially as well on Tav. USG run at the corner, and the celebration seemed, as at the ground, seemed to last for absolute ages when they were celebrating this goal. Jack Butland stood with the ball in his penalty area for ages, just stood with the ball. And the VAR, obviously you can see back home the VAR check, but that was ruled offside for USG. But it was a warning sign for Rangers because every ball that goes into our box, as we know, we are panic stations.
I've literally got my notes. Ball in our box and we crumble. And I've probably had that note in there for quite a few weeks. I don't know. I know obviously our defence is very much hanging on by a thread just now. As we say, we are struggling for recruits in there. But still, I don't. No confidence in me when a ball comes into our box. And that unfortunately includes Jack Butland as well. Ever since that game at Old Trafford, I love Jack Butland to bits. I don't know how confident I feel with a whole back five, if you will. So yeah, it's thankfully it was offside. Looking back in the replay, it was deservedly offside, but it has caught us out, and it will catch us out going forward. It's something we need to fix. We need to fix it. But yeah, it stays 1-0 Rangers for now at least.
Yeah, and then near the end of the first half, there's a ball that comes out. I'm trying to think who puts it back, and I'm not sure, but a ball goes back in. Dessers tries to get back on side, lashes into the back of the net. I thought it was on at the game, but it was. I've seen it back tonight. Obviously, in the tele, it was very tight. He was offside, and ultimately the goal was chalked off. But what was your thoughts at half time? Obviously, Rangers in the concourse, it was myself, Scotia, and Stu from my work that actually took Carney's tickets, but we were all quite in an optimistic mood. We did think USG, I thought there was more goals in it. They carved us open quite easy at times, but at the same time, I thought we were dangerous in the front line too with Igaman, Dessers, and Cerny. But at half time, to be honest, I was pretty happy. All I was looking for was the second goal in the second half.
Yeah, we were unlucky not to get it with that Dessers chance. It was a great finish from Dessers. It's
Yeah.
a very much a Dessers finish. Don't give him too much time, and that's what he can do. So you go into half time, and as you say, we're sitting ninth. You never know what's going to happen, but yeah, you can go and feeling pretty confident. They were, as you say, they were a good team. They were in good form going into this game, USG. So to go in at 1-0 is very, very strong in itself. So you go in at the second half. There's not much changes we can make in terms of bringing people off. I think the one guy who we'll probably come on to individuals, Bajrami, I'm still not sure.
We'll come
I'm
to
not
him, don't
sure.
worry.
Yeah, I know. We'll leave it for a later date. But yeah, half time comes and more of the same for the second 45 would do us quite nicely.
Yeah, and then we start the second half, not great to be honest. You always know these teams are going to come out, but USG did come out. I thought we were at sixes and sevens. I thought we were panicking the ball at times, to be honest. Couldn't really grab control of it, gave the ball away too much. But they had a few chances, USG. There was one in particular where they broke forward, and Jack Butland, he's had previous for it, comes for it, and then stops. The boy goes round him. I thought he was just going to put it into the net. Tav slides to block it, comes back out to another guy, and he makes an absolute mess of it. But that was a warning sign, and I know we'll come on to Jack Butland, but it wasn't clever from Butland. And like I say, he's got previous for the exact same thing what he did.
No, it's not. It's not. For me, with Butland, I'm just. You can see he's out of confidence, and I hope that that's just all it is. We know the quality Jack Butland has. He's a England international for a reason, but just now he's definitely not. He's not looking like the Butland that we've seen in previous months. So I mean, outstanding from Tav. Tav again with another, as we say, outstanding performance at centre half. So yeah, it's a big moment for him. But I hope that Butland gets back to the form that we know that he can play at. Because as you said at the top of the show, a guy like Alan McGregor, that's I mean, if we can have him in, then we'll be laughing. So if we can get our kind of goalkeeper back to full confidence, that'd be ideal. But no, brilliant from Tav.
Yeah, and then on the 55th minute, Rangers actually they started very well, USG, and I'll be honest, our second goal kind of come out of nothing, but we did well to nick a ball. It goes to Bajrami, who plays Dessers down the left-hand side. Dessers does fantastic here, by the way. He just drives you a ball and just clever, gets his head up, sees where Cerny is. All the defenders are rushing into the goal. Cerny pulls off, finds him, and Cerny buries it to make it 2-0. And at that point, Ross, I thought, right, that's 2-0 at Ibrox. We should see this game out now.
Surely you need to see it out there, especially at the as much as they were threatening 2-0, as you say, you can't that needs to be our game to win. Cyril Dessers. Now I don't know where we go. That's what 4 returns in the last 4. The boy's playing out of skin just now.
Yeah.
Obviously, I won't get too ahead of myself. Obviously, we know previous with Dessers, but by the looks of it, it looks like he's going to be a Rangers player for the rest of the season. So if this is what he's going to provide, I think if it has something to do with playing Igaman and Dessers, then it's clearly working because the Dessers, I think there was a comment that came up, likewise with their slide tackling, he's showing, he looks sharp, he looks ready, he looks well up for it, and I'm buzzing to see it, I'm absolutely buzzing to see it, but yeah, such a very, very just pinpoint pass to Cerny. Good to see Cerny back in the score sheet as well. He's a guy who's definitely not shy to get his numbers up this season, and it's another one to the tally. You could see right away that Cerny was kind of pointing at Dessers, going, "Yeah, that's outstanding from you." So yeah, it's 2-0 up, as you say. Need to see the game out from there. That was our game to lose for sure.
Yeah, I seen today, somebody in the comments will be correct, maybe honest, but I seen Cerny's been involved in 20 goals and assists. I think he's maybe scored 13 goals, 7 assists or something. There you go, weekend at Cerny's though. Thank you very much for the
Thank you.
donation weekend at Cerny's. Yes, he was unplayable last night. We will come on to some highlights of players last night after we talk about this. But yeah, moving on. We made a few substitutions. John Suter came back onto the park, which was good to see because we've been crying out for somebody like John Suter. Tav went back to his natural position of right back. Ross McCausland pushed further forward. Other substitutions we made. Who else come off the park for Rangers that night? We brought a couple of young boys on. Lovelace come on for Igaman. Paul Incio come on for Bajrami. We'll come on to him. But Rangers rode their luck, I'll be honest about it. After that, I just thought we were a bit reckless on the ball. I know you're looking at the team there and you've got boys on, you've got Incio, I thought, looked a bit like rabbit in headlights at times when he came on the park. Didn't have a lot of composure about him, but he's a young lad getting thrown on there. So I thought we did well to ride our luck, to be honest. But the referee, Ross, I mean, sick. When we talked about Nick Walsh on Club Deck Corner on Tuesday, and obviously me and Carney covered him after the Dundee United game, but the referee in this game was absolutely atrocious. For both teams as well. I just thought some of the yellow cards, I mean, there was one in the first half where he gave I think it was Diamandi was driving in near the box and a guy hauls him to the ground. We get the free kick, doesn't he book him? There was one with Igaman, I think it was the first half, gets taken down, no booking. I think there was one with, I remember in the second half, I think it was, not Balogun, Proper, wins a header, booked for it. I thought he was shocking the referee, so erratic, and it just shows that referees are not just bad in Scotland.
They are not just bad in Scotland, mate. There was one. I mean, I'll be correct. I'm sure somebody correct me in the comments. There was one in the second half where Proper hits into the back of one of the USG players, which then makes Raskin falls over. Then the USG player gets booked. So and that's me saying that as in like that should be a foul in in USG's favour. It was, you could see the end of the game. He completely lost it. You could see from me watching it in the telly that I don't know if understandably if you're overwhelmed in that situation, I'm not sure, but you needed just to kind of take a wee bit more control of the game, and thankfully again, as we say, see it until it happens in a moment that's kind of cost the game. I won't be obviously I'll be frustrated by it, but I'll be fizzing with it if it actually happens and it costs a result. But when am I going to get a break talk about the rest of it? I feel bad. Maybe next week. Maybe Sunday. Maybe Sunday might be the time.
Yeah, I just thought he was terrible at the game. He actually got the crowd going the last 10 minutes for all his decisions, to be fair. But yeah, obviously at this point, Rangers were in the top 8. Everyone had their phones out who could get reception at Ibrox, and all the scenarios went for Rangers. I think it was 5 scenarios that had to go for us, and they were all going for Rangers. I'll be honest, sitting the last 5 minutes went up a bad time. I think we ended up playing something like 7-8 minutes, whatever it was. But I had the fear that Rangers would do the usual. Everything would go for us and we'd make an arse of it in the last minute and concede. But they didn't, Rangers. They get out with a 2-1 win, a good 2-1 win against a decent team. I thought they were a good team, USG. And yeah, we're on top 8. And thank you very much, Smudge. Very much appreciated for that.
Thank you, Smudge. Cheers.
That's exceptional. Cheers, Smudge. Yeah, to finish in the top 8, Ross, I'll be honest, when I looked at the fixtures and you look who's finished in the top 8, we've played 4 of those teams that finished in the top 8 and some teams that have qualified as well. It's a remarkable achievement from obviously our first. I'll go through the games what we've played. We beat Malmo 2-0 away. We get beat by Lyon 4-1 at Ibrox. Then we beat Stoya Bucharest 4-0. Drew 1-1 with Olympiacos. Beat Nice 4-1 away. Drew with Tottenham. Probably should have won that game. Get beat by Man United 2-1 in the last minute again. Should have got a point. And we beat USG. It's a phenomenal achievement by Rangers to finish in that top 8 and to go into the last 16 of the Europa League. They just seem to do it. And it's weird, Ross, because you're a lot younger than me and you've kind of grown up with Rangers doing very well in Europe. When I grew up, Rangers were very good domestically, as in winning leagues, League Cups, Scottish Cups, but always get humped in Europe until obviously kind of Walter's second phase when he come back in, and obviously now under Gerrard, etc. But what an achievement by Rangers, especially this season domestically. We've been so poor, but again, Europe for me it's a sideshow. It's a very good sideshow, and Rangers are proving once again that they're up there in terms of European clubs now. But to finish in the top 8 of that was what an achievement.
Well, definitely. I think the last few seasons, I think Rangers have kind of staked their name in the kind of world of football. I want to see Rangers, up there with the European teams. That's if you even look at the kind of the table as it stands. Well, 1 point behind Leon. Now, when Leon came to Ibrox, let's be fair, they rolled us over. There's some players in that team. I think there was that Cherky. Players that I reckon you'll see at the top of French football in a few years' time. 1 point behind them is that's exceptional from Rangers, and all credit goes to be honest, goes to Clermont, especially the team and Clermont, because domestically, as you say, I don't know how you can go to fling away points at Fir Park and then you go to Nice and batter them for like what I mean, like it doesn't make any sense. But as you say, just Thursday nights Europa League, just something happens for Rangers. So yeah, I want to see us going forward. I think financially as well, it's brilliant. I think I was looking on the website. I think it's about 1.5 million for getting through to the round of 16. I think so. Financially, it is good as well. And obviously, the further we get, the better the greater that kind of prize pool will become. So bring on the next round. Obviously, we kind of know who the next teams could be. But you fancy our chances against those teams for me, especially when I believe the second leg's at Ibrox, and we know exactly what that's like. So yeah, it's all credit to the manager and the players, definitely.
Yeah, I think last night where we actually finished in the league in terms of 8th, going into the last 16 and winning a game last night, it was worth in the region of €5 million, that game last night, Rangers, which is big for us. In terms of Europe, that's where Rangers make their money. Obviously, player trading model is what you want to do, but Europe's a big one. And you see what, unfortunately, Celtic are getting in the Champions League this season. Big money. Dwarfs what we're getting, but that's big money for us. And it's money to hopefully to reinvest in the squad. But fantastic achievement. It was good at the end of the game as well. Obviously, the club have been listening to the fans sing Penny Arcade the last few games. That was played. And the return of I'm Feeling It, which gave me flashbacks to 2 years ago, the road to Seville. The final is in Bilbao in Spain, so there's similarities to it, but it was a great night. And Steve O'Gears, God, thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you very
This will
much.
be funding Mr. Carney's Monaco trip, everyone.
He has got a baby in the way. He has got a baby in the way.
I know. No, thank you. Much appreciated for that. But yeah, I'm feeling it. Similarities to the road to Seville. I'm not saying we're going to get to the final, but you look at the potential opponents. The draw is the 21st of February. So our potential opponents are either, I think, FC20 play Bodo Glimt and Fenerbahce play Anderlecht. So we will play one of those teams. As you said, we're seeded. So the away tie is the first leg's away on the 6th of March. And then the following week, the 13th of March, we are at home. Looking at the teams, Ross, I don't think any of them will want to come to Ibrox. No team I don't think wants to come to Ibrox, especially when the teams we turn over at Ibrox. But they've got a right chance, Rangers, of going into the quarterfinals of the Europa League.
Now if that sentence doesn't get you buzzing, I don't know what will. There's some serious potential there. Serious potential. I think for me, I'd be wanting to avoid Bodo Glimt, to be honest. I actually think they've just their league campaign finished last year. They've been playing some friendlies recently. They look decent in the Europa League, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. But for me, as you say, no team will be fancy coming to Ibrox. FC20. Could you see Sam Lammers return? Could you see it? We'll find out. Obviously,
it's a stick on. It's a stick on. We get FC20, and he puts us out at it.
I know. Yeah, it's got and Proper will get sent off because he's the captain. Them it's just written in the stars already. Fenerbahce, you've got Jose Mourinho. You would have had Ryan Kent back at Ibrox, so you might have had back him one way or another. Obviously Anderlecht as well. It's for Rangers fans. I think we can quite reasonably we can be confident with our track record, but also the way that we're performing just now. Kind of looking in the present with the European fixtures, we should be going in there with our tails up. For me, we should be making it through to the next round of the Europa League, definitely.
Yeah, and that's 2 years in a trot. We've got in the last 16. We've not been in the playoffs, so we can sit back and enjoy the last 32. We can watch these teams and see who we get. And it's 2 free midweeks for us as well. Gives us time to prepare, gives us time to focus, and obviously domestic football. I know the league's done, but the Scottish Cup's there as well. But coming into March, we should have players back as well. Obviously, John Souttar's just back. He should have more games under his belt. Cerny's back. Some of the young boys might be blooded. And then there was a question from Tommy Latanka, who I know very well, who's sitting in my seat on Sunday. Here you go, Ross. Obviously, three changes can be made to the squad. Who's your changes to come in? Obviously, we know Matondo's. Well, come on, Matondo's gone. Dowell's out there as well. So who would be your three changes? It's a pretty obvious one, but who would be your changes to come in for the last 16 game?
Yeah, well, I think when the first squad was announced, the two names that stand out would have been Hadji and Danilo. Why they weren't added into the squad, especially when we were you couldn't change until January. We knew it was this long, so for me it's Hadji and Danilo is an absolute shoe. Then for me, it has to be Nsiala. For the way he's playing just now, I'd be getting Nsiala. And obviously, we know we have just brought in Fernandez, and hopefully he comes in. If in an ideal world, Fernandez comes in and he's better than Nsiala. Obviously, you want to have as much competitive players kicking about the team as possible. But for me, I'd be going Hadji, Danilo, Nsiala. Would be my three. Gutted to not see Kieran Dowell and Matondo. Absolutely gutted because they were going to win us the Europa League. I'm telling you, they were going to win us it.
No, I know. A couple of good songs left Rangers as well with these players leaving.
Oh.
We need to get some good songs back. But I know, I agree. We were screaming out for a Hadji last night. I think Hadji's been very good. I'll be honest. I mean, Carney was the same as me. I didn't think Hadji was the answer, but he's come back. He's a guy with a point to prove for me, Hadji, and he's done very well for Rangers. I'm looking forward to seeing him in a Thursday night at Ibrox because he's deserved to play in some of these games. But yeah, as I say, we can sit back and watch the last 32, see how these teams get on, and we'll be there ready in the last 16. But yeah, a phenomenal achievement by Rangers. Even folk down in England, I work for an English company, were texting me saying well done as well. So it's seen down there as well how well Rangers have done. So yes, well done Rangers. How many times have we said that in the podcast? Well done Rangers. Just take that to domestic form, Rangers. Christ. But let's move on to some performers who I thought played very well last night. And we'll stick with, first of all, talk to James Tavernier. He's been slaughtered. James Tavernier, you either love him or you hate him, I think, with some of the Rangers fans. He divides the support. I still don't know why a guy that cost us £200,000 away back under Mark Warburton and he's going to do what he's done. I know he's not won as many trophies as we want to win, but for some bit of business for me. But to play right centre half last night, and he played at Old Trafford there as well, I thought he was brilliant last night, Tav. I thought he was really good. And could that be a position for Tav going forward? I know he's getting a wee bit older.
I think it might need to be, by the way, for the current injury crisis that we're in. It could potentially be an option. At least we know the options there. At least we know if an injury does prop up again. Obviously, we do have Sutter coming back. We do have potentially bringing Nsiala back into the lineup. But I think some of the comments were saying when Tav went to right back, we didn't look as strong. Obviously, Sutter's still coming back from fitness, so we'll take him out, bed back in. But he's a guy who knows the Europa League very, very well. Obviously, we know the stats that he had back in the run to Seville. So, I think, for me, I think we're probably all in agreement. It should be Tav's last season. I think another season for Tav would be, obviously, he's wanting to get a testimonial, but for his sake, is Tav the man going forward? I'm not sure. But see if this can be the way he goes out, that he goes out on a high and a good European, who knows how far the European run's going to go. But if he keeps playing like this, then brilliant. You don't want to see a captain on the bench. You want to see a captain, being in the team. We all want Tav to do well, but for me, it baffles me to say it. But Tavernier at centre back is working. For how long, I hope that I'm saying that in a few weeks' time and that it does continue. But if it isn't broke, don't fix it. I do. You'll probably see Tav go to right back at the weekend with the options that we do have available. But he's getting there. He's definitely getting there. And a guy who was in for a lot of criticism is hopefully kind of making his way back. So yeah, it's brilliant to see. It is brilliant to see.
Yeah, no, I thought he was good last night, Tav, and he's had a lot of criticism this year. But last night I thought he was good. I thought he led like a captain. I'd seen him when McCausland get booked. They kind of took him to the side, McCausland, and kind of had a word in his ear. And he was doing that with a few players in the park last night. And yeah, I thought he had a good game. Obviously assisted as well. Obviously, it's rattled a few folk in the comments. I can see that, but you need to give the guy praise when he plays well. God, it's can't slag him all the time. Another guy we'll move on to, and I don't think anyone in the comments can have a go at this one. Nico Raskin, another guy similar to Hadji that beginning the season I would have let go. Wasn't doing it at the tail end of last season, which I was surprised at because obviously when Clement came in, thought he might get the nod in there, was in and out. But I gave Raskin a man of the match last night. I think he's been probably our best player for weeks now, if not months. I just think he plays, like we're talking about Tav as a captain, I think Raskin plays like a captain, but without the armband. I seen him shouting at players last night, last minute blocks, tidying up work for guys that were losing the ball. I thought he was everywhere. Raskin scored a goal as well. You build the midfield around him, and he's becoming another asset for Rangers. Something we've not had for years. Assets, and we're now starting to get a few assets, but he's just getting better and better for me, Nico Raskin, isn't he?
He is, mate. He is getting better. It's coming to a point that I can't remember the last time I didn't give him man of the match. He's consistently put in performances that, as you say, he's a right asset for us. He's done it in the big stage. He plays for a big football nation in Belgium. Could you see him progress into the national team one day? He's very little words could describe Nico Raskin at the moment. He's playing the peak of his career, and we mustn't forget he's still young. He's still young. He's still to hit his kind of peak years. So Raskin's just he does put himself in that captain category for a reason. Obviously, he has wore the armband, and if you were to see him again in the future, you wouldn't think twice about it. He's a guy who he knows. I think he understands Rangers. He's been here for a good few seasons now. He gets what it's about, and you could almost, yeah, for me, when we were playing it, I'm feeling it last night. You could see players like Raskin kind of jumping about, maybe because obviously they weren't here during the run to Seville. They're maybe just getting a taste of what it's like in these kind of big European nights. So Raskin for me, give him as much money as he wants, give him as many chefs as he need because he's playing out of his skin just now, and long may it continue.
Yeah, he was really good at asking. He's getting better and better for me. He is, and yeah, I'd like to see. Obviously, the summer's a big summer for us in terms of bringing players in and bringing the right players in. But I'm delighted to see that he's proved me wrong because I didn't think at the beginning of the season he had it, but he's proved me wrong. But last but not least, I know Egeman's an obvious one to play for. I thought Egeman was good last night, some great touches, just didn't come off from at times. But the one guy I want to talk about, and he's again another guy that splits the support, but I think he's been excellent last few games there. I think with Egeman playing with him, I think it frees him up. Dessers, I thought it's an all-round performance last night, probably one of the best performances I've seen him. I know he didn't score, but he was winning balls. He was holding up play. He was tracking back to win balls at times as well. Assists too. I thought he was brilliant like last night. Dessers, a guy, I don't think he's going to go. Let's be honest about it now. We can't afford to lose him probably because we don't have any strikers unless we brought someone in. But him and Egeman, that's what I want to see going forward. I think it's working, and we need to persist with it.
It is working. It is working. That I think you're right. It's up there, one of the best performances from Dessers, and it's so refreshing to see. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand the past with Dessers, but like, I'm a Rangers fan at the end of the day. I want to see my team doing well, and when you see a guy like Dessers, who he clearly loves the club, he clearly loves being here, and when he's contributing the way that he is just now, then we need to play him. We need to play him because, as you say, we're very, very light on options. Don't get me wrong. I do want to see. I hope that Dessler's good run of form doesn't, put Zach Lovelace out of the limelight. I do want to see him get his bit of a run, but for now, he's in the starting team for me with Igaman. Igaman, it probably wasn't his most standout performance last night, but that touch in the first half made up for it. Honestly,
Oh,
see, for a young guy like me who sits in the highlights all day, that's unbelievable. So yeah, it's Dessers. Please make it continue because we might need him, but we might need him seriously, especially if obviously Danilo's history. I don't know what we're going to do with Danilo. That's a discussion for another day. But Dessers, just keep doing what you're doing, big chap, and you'll stay hopefully in the good books. Yeah, long may it continue.
yeah, no, you got a right round of applause at the end of the game. Dessers and the Union Bears were singing his song at the end, just after I'm feeling it. No, it's good for the big guy because he's been criticised, he's been booed not even that long ago coming on the park as a substitute, which baffles me why you want to boo your own player coming on the park. But yeah, he's got the right attitude for me, Dessers. If half the players we had the same attitude as Dessers, I think we'd be doing a lot better right now. He's got a great attitude. Igaman, Igaman, he tries that nutmeg constantly with players. I mean, Soccer AM I don't think Soccer AM's no longer on our screens anymore, but they used to have a bit in Soccer AM, and it was the nutmegs all the time. He would feature that every single week if Soccer AM was still on. But yeah, he's a joy to watch, Igaman. But yeah, I just thought I'd highlight those three guys. There was other guys as well that I thought played well. Proper, another one. It's European football, I think, so some he played well too last night. But yeah, I don't want to bring it down, but the two players that I don't think have been playing well for Rangers recently, and we might as well call out because say what you see. I'll start with Jack Butland, and this might again divide people in the comments or whoever's listening to us, but I don't know what's happened to Jack Butland. When he came into Rangers, initially I thought he was good, came off his line, he was taking balls, everything we wanted in a goalkeeper, a good shot stopper, but this season in particular, I just think he looks a shadow of the goalkeeper he used to be. Whether it's to do with the back line in terms of our back line's changed that much this time, but he just does. He just looks short of confidence, and then the goal they scored. For me, he's got to save it, and he's cost us time after time, Butland, and he's a big discussion. I think he's splitting the support, and you can see it in social media and stuff. But do we look for a keeper in the summer, or has that been too harsh?
It's a consideration. I mean, that you're right. The goal we concede to concede from a header at the height that Jack Button's at is it's very unexpected. It's one of the last things I would have predicted. And just like in the comments, please let us know if you were to sell Butland, how much you reckon you're gonna charge for Butland just now. I don't even know what his stock would be at. There's a good point in the comments what I was gonna make. He has been through a bit of turbulence to say the least. He has just had a new baby. He has obviously had that rush to hospital. It's I'd imagine been a very very tricky time for the lad. So I hope that for his sake, personally, and for obviously the club as well, that he's back to full Jack Butland soon. If we were to sell him, if I was to put a figure on it, oh, I don't know. I don't know what to sell, but I'd 7, 8 million for Jack Butler. I'm completely playing devil's advocate here. But for me, it might be controversial. I wouldn't like to sell him. I wouldn't like to sell Jack Butland. I think I've seen moments from Jack Butland in the past that are kind of similar to just now, where it does, there's sometimes blunder after blunder. I've also seen Jack Butland stop it from being 3-4-1 down Old Trafford. There was chances where they could have had that game dead and buried. We know the quality Jack Butland's got. So I'm going to stick with Butland. I'd be keeping him at the club. I know that recently it hasn't been great, but for me, I think Jack Butland needs to stay.
Yeah, I think it's Liam Kelly's not a better goalkeeper. I just think we need to persist with Butland and hopefully he just comes through this sticky patches. And that's the way I'm looking at it. I don't think he's been great at all, Butland. I don't feel confident with him at all at the moment. A lot of folk are going to on about him having this baby. I always remember Roy Keane was asked this about a player, and Roy Keane turned around and went, "Well, he didn't have the baby, did he?" So it's I just hope he gets back to that form, Jack Butland, because he's stuck in his line all the time, never comes for a ball for some reason. But hopefully with Suter coming back into the centre half position, and we might get a bit of stability in the back line when Fernandes comes in as well now. So we'll need to see, but I think he'll persist with him going forward because, as I say, Liam Kelly, I think he's a decent deputy, but I don't think he's a number one choice for Rangers. So we'll see what happens there. Another one who we talked about in Club Deck Corner, Bajrami. Somebody actually said in the comments last night, because I gave Bajrami a tough time, that he did in this. He helped in the assist for the second goal. He did. But apart from that, he was anonymous for me last night again. Half-hearted, on the edges of games, like I say, never really affects a game. I don't know what it is with Bajrami, but for me, Ross County and Sunday, I know we'll come on to Ross County, he gets pulled out of the team and a young boy gets put in because he doesn't deserve to wear the jersey at the moment. I think he needs to come out. I thought last night, once again, he was poor.
Yeah, I agree. Step up Bailey Rice on Sunday. Personally, I'd be bringing Bailey Rice in if we can. I'm very, very mixed on Bajrami. I hope that it's maybe just a first season thing. If he's gonna, I don't know. I'm trying to find every last wee thing in the barrel to kind of help Bajrami out here. There was obviously on the
a good one for Buffalo Alabama. Floating about in the wind like an empty handles. That's actually very true, to be honest.
That's brilliant. No, I know it's. There was obviously on the bench last night. You saw Tom Lawrence was back in there. I think would it surprise me to see Tom Lawrence come back in? Probably not. We've seen Clement's been kind of he's not been a fan of Lawrence. So yeah, I hope that Bajrami comes good. He's obviously a player we were very, very excited about whenever he came in the transfer, and I was like, yeah, that's a big bit of business. He's not really lived up to it for just now. He obviously had that goal in the cup final. That's probably the one moment that sticks out to me. There was a few moments last night. I think it was around I've got to note it down, the 70th minute, where he had a few good touches of the ball. He's good with his feet. Like he's decent. It's just consistent. I think we were speaking last week on Club Live. It's 19 games in the league, 1 goal and 1 assist. For your number 10, even your left wing, it's not what we're looking for. So I don't know. It's very. I'm hoping the boy's going to come good because we have invested a good bit of money into him, and yeah, it's definitely for me though, mate. I agree. Sunday needs some changes in there.
Yeah. I mean, you just frame the stats off, and not very good reading. And then you look at Cerny, with us involved in 20, something like 13 goals, 7 assists. That's what Bajrami should be taking to bring to the team as well, and he's not doing it for me. Again, another player that I hope he goes and kind of proves me wrong, Bajrami, but he's just Buffalo. What was his name? Alberts. That was a great comment. And it's kind of sums him up. It just floats about without really affecting a game, to be honest. So I didn't want to be too negative, but I just thought I'd highlight 2 players I didn't think have been great recently. It's my dog squeaks a toy in the background there. But yeah, the January window is nearly about to shut. So far, us we've brought in Fernandes, we've let go of Kieran Dowell, has gone. Rabbi Matondo has left to go to Germany to Hanover. He's went to. I'm not sure. He's went to somebody in Germany. But yeah, we've got players off the wage bill, big earners as well. Nico Katic, which was the one doing the rumours as well. We can put that to bed. He's signed for the mighty Plymouth Argyle on loan, which is a bit of a weird one. They're sitting like bottom of the championship or something. But what are you expecting in the transfer window, Ross? I know last night was worth in the region of €5 million, like I was saying to Rangers. But do you think Rangers will go into the market and get a player? And do you think they'll still look to get some players off the books as well, i.e. a Tom Lawrence?
I think I think off the books, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. I think we've got the two main ones off in terms of Matondo and Dowell. Obviously, both on loans. We'll see what happens there, but those are probably the two main ones that we were kind of crying out for. I would love to see somebody else come in. Do I see it happening? Probably not. I think whenever we got the announcement not too long ago that it was going to be one, maybe two, I think we'll probably need to sit with one, mate. I'm not gonna lie, we'll probably need to sit with the one. If if Dessers was Ofsky, then we'd bring another one in. That's kind of a straight easy swap. But I reckon that Fernandez will probably be the lot. Obviously, please get your comments in again. Please let us know what you think. But I think, can we be too disappointed with just the one just now? I don't think we can. I don't think we can. We haven't really left ourselves in the best position financially, and as a team winning. Like for example, if you are a young lad just now like a Fernandez, is it a bit of a risk coming to Rangers in the current climate that we're in, especially domestically? I don't know. I don't know. We kind of. I'm hoping that if Fernandez is real not to come in, that it's a kind of good advert for players wanting to come into Rangers. You know, we want to have as many players incoming as possible. But as we were speaking about earlier, mate, summer's going to be a big window, but it's going to be even bigger depending who the manager's going to be. So we'll see what happens down the line. But as January stands, I think Fernandez is going to be a lot.
Yeah, I agree, to be honest. And you look at it, I mean, we don't know what these players that are out, we don't know how, I mean, Cortez, how far away is he? We don't know. Danilo, how far away is he? Sterling. I mean, if these players aren't overly far away, you can look at that and go, right, well, you've got the players back, you've got the young lads, you want to probably give a chance to domestically the league. Yes, you still want to win as many games as possible, but it's a right good chance this season to blood some of these boys. And you've got the Scottish Cup to play for, obviously Queen's Park and a week on Sunday, whatever it is. Again, a chance to play some of these young lads as well. So they're probably looking at it because January is a dodgy month to bring players in. They're probably looking at it going, yeah, it's not ideal this season in terms of where we are, but as you say, the summer's big for Rangers, and I think they'll be looking towards business in the summer. I think they've probably identified players in the summer they'll go for. Clement did say they're getting players off the books at the moment, i.e. Matondo, Adil, because their wages don't fit the structure going forward in terms of we can't pay those wages anymore. So they'll be looking like to players like a Jeffy profile, an Egaman, guys like these that we try and bring in on a lower wage, and we try and develop them and then ultimately move them on. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Selfishly, I'd like to see a player come in, but I just can't see it. I can't see it. But we'll just need to wait and see what happens. So yes, but we have a game to focus on Sunday. The mighty Ross County are coming to Ibrox. Ross County are sitting 10th in the league at the moment. I think they've won 2 out of the last 5 games. Last time we played them, we beat them 3-0 away, which obviously we've not won many away games this season, but that was one. That was during our purple patch, actually, where we won 3-0 up there. Yeah, Sunday, Ross County come to Ibrox. Without being disrespectful, it should be routine for Rangers, shouldn't it?
3 points and up the road is the biggest example for me on Sunday. Yes, that 3-0 away win it was very much a almost like a monkey off the back kind of moment, getting that win away. Scored 9 goals in the last 2 games against. Obviously had that 6-0 win at quote unquote home at Hampden. We obviously had that 6-0 battering. So yeah, for me, as we were speaking about earlier about Bajrami, I think you give young lads a chance on Sunday. I'd see Bailey Rice into the squad. Do you see Lovelace come in? I'm not sure. Obviously, we need to. I want to get Cerny up to as many minutes as possible, but obviously that then does give a chance for young Lovelace to, if he doesn't start, to come on. So I think the team probably does pick itself, but yeah, it's very much a convincing 3 points and up the road, and yeah, hopefully it's a beautiful Sunday, as they say, a beautiful Sunday.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at it in terms of we don't have a midweek game after it. The next game after it's Queen's Park at Ibrox. So he's got a bit of time to play with players in terms of if young lads maybe don't get the minutes they're going to get, because we need to go and win the game, but he's got Queen's Park coming up, which is a bigger game than Ross County, let's be honest about it, because it's the Scottish Cup, so we need to get through that. But you'll probably look at that in terms of he could bring some young boys into that. But I expect young boys to play on Sunday. Maybe not start, but I think they may get half an hour or maybe a full second half. I mean, the ideal for Clermont is if Rangers can go out and blow Ross County away in the first half, and then he could bring these young lads on for the second half and give them a good 35, 40 minutes run out. But yes, unfortunately, I won't be there myself. I'm away this weekend. Tommy is taking my seat, so hopefully Tommy brings some good luck. But what is your team for Sunday, Ross, and your score and first goal scorer? Oh, Justin Muir, before you come in there he is. Justin Muir, as always. God bless America.
God bless
there
America.
You go.
I've got the scarf this time. I've got the scarf. You know what? I'm going to chuck this. I've got the USA scarf. I'm going to chuck it in the background over there in the scarf collection. So there's always a bit of Justin in the pod. Thank you, Justin.
And it's the end of the year. He's coming now to the Viceroy.
Is it? Oh.
I thought it was earlier, Justin. So you've let me down there. Later in the year,
more time to prepare.
I was about to say it gives us more time to prepare. Hopefully, by then we're into the new season. Rangers are top of the league as well, Justin. So yes, maybe it's an omen then.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. No, that's class. Thank you, Justin. Yeah, I'm gonna go with starting 11. Butland in goal. I think you'll see Tav come back in at right back. It's two centre halves of Proper and Siala. Jeffy at left back. I'm gonna go with Raskin, Dio, and I'm gonna bring in young Bailey Rice for me. I think that's a great chance for the lad. And then I'm gonna go Cerny on the right, play Hadji on the left, and then I say Agaman. We need to play Dessers. I don't even know. You know what? I'll go Raskin, Rice, and Hadji, and then Cerny, Dessers, and Igaman up top. That'll be my front line. I'm gonna go a convincing 4-0 win for Rangers with D9 back in the score sheet. Hopefully that'll be 5 in the bounce from. I mean that's numbers that I can't remember the last time somebody scored 5 games in the bounce or contributed 5 games in the bounce. So please let it continue, D9. That'd be absolutely brilliant.
I think I've got the same team as you actually. The back line for me, I think it could play Suter, but if he doesn't need to play Suter, I know he needs minutes in him, Suter. So I think he'll go with Proper and Inciala. Maybe Suter might come on the second half to switch players about. Jeffy, I think Jeffy was great last night. He's so erratic, Jeffy, and I know we were cut, Ross, by the other half of the city about our discussion in Jeffy. If they'd actually, I know it's mental they actually listen to us, to be honest, but if they actually listened to it, we're talking hypothetically about Jeffy in terms of figures and all that. So, it was good that they're listening to us. But, yeah, he was very erratic, Jeffy, against USG, but that's what he is. Like I say, sometimes I think he needs reined in at times. But, yeah, I've got the same back line as you. The midfield, yeah, I kind of agree. I'd like to see Bailey Rice in there, and I think Ross County's a perfect game for him to come in. I agree. Raskin, Bailey Rice, and Hadji. Bajrami doesn't start for me. Dessers, I think, has to start. Igaman, I think just play Igaman. For me, he doesn't need rested. And I'd agree. I think Cerny plays to get minutes. But on the back of it, I would say he's probably maybe said to players, maybe Fernandez could maybe get a go in the second half, depending on how the game's going. Players like Lovelace could potentially come on, NCO as well. So yeah, I think you'll still see these young lads come on, and there'll be an eye to Queen's Park on a week on Sunday as well in terms of who's going to get the jerseys for that. And I'm going to go. Oh, you went 4-0, didn't you? I'll go 3-0 Rangers. Dessers to score the first goal. So yes, we'll look forward to that. It's weird that there's no midweek games after that because you've had, I don't know how many midweek games we've had since kind of Christmas time. It seems to be 2 games a week, and then all of a sudden, because we've not getting to the last 32, we're in the last 16, it takes away these midweek games now. In fact, me and Scotia, here's one thing, me and Scotia go to the darts every single year, right, at the Hydro, and we've went for the last, God knows how many years in a row now. And this season I looked at it, and the darts at the Hydro was next Thursday. And next Thursday, if Rangers had fallen in the last 32, which I expected them to do, they would have been playing that night. So I deliberately didn't get tickets for the darts. And what did Rangers do? I should have believed in them. I should have believed in them, Ross.
Anyone in the comments that can source some tickets, please get that done. That need to get you to the darts, mate. That needs to happen.
Aye, me and Scotia always sit in the table seats. We don't sit with a riff-raff up the stands. I'm only joking, some folk, but disappointing because we always go to the darts. But I need to put more belief in Rangers going forward if the darts next season is the same kind of date. So yes, I will be watching that on the telly next week. So I look forward to that as well. But yes, I'd like to. That's us nearly there, Mark Ross. So I'd like to thank everyone in the comments, everyone for their kind donations tonight as well. Mr. Justin Muir, who will be coming to the Viceroy the end of the year. I look forward to that. But yes, and last but not least, thanks to my guest, Mr. Ross McLean.
Thank you, mate. That was brilliant. That was a great wee chat. It's always a quick hour in Club Live. It's always a quick hour. Thank you to everyone in the comments. It's absolutely ridiculous the amount of support we're getting this evening. So thank you as always. Yeah, it's very much back to the usual on Sunday. Back to the league football. I think Tav was actually saying in a post match how, kind of getting that extra opportunity to, instead of playing and kind of getting back to the training ground and kind of hoping to really kick on and strengthen ourselves for the rest of the season. So hopefully we can do that. And yeah, let's just kick on. Let's see what it takes us. All roads lead to the Europa League final. All roads lead there. So thank you as always to everyone in the chat. Thank you.
Yeah, we're off to sunny Spain. To Bilbao. There's plenty of routes to Bilbao, by the way. You can get a ferry to Santander, which is right beside Bilbao. That's down the Bay of Biscay. I think that's a bit of a dodgy ride down there on a ferry. But yes, we'll talk about that if we get into the later rounds of the competition. But we can sit and enjoy it. And yes, we will be back on Sunday with a match reaction. I do think Mr. Cerny may be back from his glamorous trip to Monaco. I think he is back, so it'll probably be him doing a post-match reaction, and then I think there's a club deck corner possibly the following week. I know Carney has a baby number 2 arriving very, very soon, so bear with us. We'll still be here. We have been Club at 22, the Rangers podcast, and we will see you on Sunday.